He finds your username, and every time it pops on, he's like, "Sweet." It's not for
Here, CIT guys, you gotta go.
You have no idea what they're talking about.
Okay, so we're good.
Yeah.
All right. So basic idea of a server socket and a client socket is the server socket just needs to open up on a port and listen there, and then the client socket just needs to request on that port, and then if there's a server socket open on that port, it'll respond to it. So the easiest way to explain it is just to look at this code. So in the first line, server socket listener equals new server socket. So there you just create a server socket. It's easy as that. Like there's really not much coding to it because Java has all the work behind it. So you just do a new server socket. This has to be a numeric value, obviously, 9090. It's just the port they chose to do here. Can't be a port that's in use on your machine or anything like that. Like if you're hosting the website on 80 or 443 or something, it will have a bind issue. So you just tell the port you want to do there. The next line of code is you create a listener for it. So that's just socket listener.accept, and that just accepts it. I tried playing it out a little bit and tried to do like deny and stuff like that, but you have to accept it and deny, I think, first or something like that. So you just accept it, and then the next part is probably the most interesting part of it. It uses print writer, which Brother Barney told me is super old, I guess. No one uses it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I think that, I can't remember what it was that he explained in this book, but the idea is that you need to store an output stream from the server. So from in your server, there are two streams. There's an input stream and an output stream. You define something into the output stream, then it's going to push it out. So on the client side, you define something on the input stream to read from the output stream, and it's basically like a tube. It just kind of sucks it into the client side, and then you just print it out. You just do a system.out print line. So here you just do new print writer. I don't understand print writer, but he said not to look into it. He said it's just old. It's just basically a way of getting a hold of the output streams and then using it. So you do socket, which you defined up here, dot get output stream. And so that's just the output stream that this server socket's listening on, and then set it to true. And then right here, all you do is out, because you stored it into out, you just do out.println new and date to string. So that's just, we're just going to be displaying the date when we connect that port. That's all it does. So that's, and then you close the socket, socket.close. So it's really basic stuff. So if I run it, I just run it here, and you'll see no errors pop up down here, but you can tell it's running. So now my machine is on 9090, it just opened the port, and it's listening on 9090 for any requests. So if I open my firewall up and someone on the network like pinged my machine on 9090, it would respond because it's open now. So I go to date client, and then I run this, and then it brings up a dialog and says enter the IP address of the machine that's running the date service on port 9090. So I'll just do my loop back, and I do my loop back. It successfully comes back with the date.
Ah, that's cool.
So it got it because on output stream, we stored it into out. We just said take the output stream. So take, if we think about it backwards, take this and store it into out, and out has the output stream of the server socket. So basically shove the date into the output stream and push it that way. I don't know how this works with multiple clients, how it gets it straight, but I think what happens is you negotiate on port 9090, but then your machine uses its own ports. You know how it always brings its own ports up to communicate, like on websites. It does it on 80, but then it uses your own, it uses different ports. So the way Brother Barney explains it in his book is you can define a port, but then in the background, your computer will use a different port to actually transfer information as well. And he says the programmer just doesn't need to know what those ports are. So he said, don't worry about it. Anyway, so that just defines the output stream and then puts it in there. On the client side, this is just an input dialog. All it does is take the date the address that I put in and stores it in a server address. Down here, you define a new socket, and then there's a variable, server address, if you don't want to hard code it, and then a port. I don't think you can store, no, you have to be able to do that. I think you can do that a variable as well. I just got an issue and it did that to me when I did that. Anyway, that just says store whatever I put in there into that variable, open it up on port 9090. And so the other side of that print reader is the buffered reader, I guess. I don't know much about it because he said not to study it, but you just do no new buffer reader and then the input, then you do a new input stream reader and then the socket, which is the S in this case, .get input stream. So you're saying I want the input stream. I want my input stream because you're getting the output stream from the server. Does that make sense at all? Like here's a server, here's a socket. You've got an output stream, so you're taking your input stream because output matches with inputs. That's the only way I could think of it, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense, but.
So pretty much right here, where's the, okay, so server address, that saves in what we type in. That's the
Right,
127.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. It's just giving us back the date. So we're not giving anything. We're just saying we just touch it and the server's like, oh hey,
Yeah, exactly.
here's the date.
I think what it does is we just say we need information and it realizes it. And then when it opens, when something's opened up, once it actually accepts it, then it runs whatever's inside after the accept, which is send the date to my output stream. And then this just requests the input stream, and then it just stores it into input, then input.readline. I think a lot of this stuff is print writer, not necessarily client server socket. Does that make sense? Like a lot of this code, like this read line, I'm pretty sure this is all print reader.
Yeah.
Print writer, yeah. You just store it into answer, and then you just do a JOption pane and display answer. So this code is a little fuzzy, but that's print writer. He said not to go on with that. I can't remember what he uses. His example shows another way to do it though.
Mm-hmm.
So I might sandbox that stuff and try it. So that's pretty much it. I mean, it's pretty basic, but it works. And so I've just been sandboxing. I've been sandboxing different ports, like the port's too small, too big. And next I'm going to be, I just need to finish sandboxing the client side. Like if I open a stream and the server shuts down, what's the client going to do? Stuff like that. So any questions? I might be able to answer them.
Can you, I'm guessing you can actually send to the server more information through the socket.
Yeah, I haven't played with that one, but that same website with that guy, he said you can also send information to it as well.
Okay.
So that would be what I do when I probably get to like
your example,
my agree or something. But yeah.
So you can just send whatever from the server. Like so right now you're just sending the date that it's touching.
Yeah,
the client's touching the server. Yeah. But technically, whatever's stored in the server can be
send a file.
Yeah. You could probably even have it grab like anything from the database or something.
Yeah, like
you could do like anything.
Something we put Hibernate inside of this, grab something from the database and push it over and have Hibernate on the other end.
Yeah.
And it would import it into the database or something.
Yeah, we should do that with a mobile application.
Hey,
have our client socket send it over to Hibernate.
This does relate. So
eventually we'll be able to do a huge project with this.
His chapter is really good though. It's a quick read.
It was is the chapter just say server and client socket?
Something. If you just search socket, it's like it's right there. Anyway, I don't know if that makes sense. It makes sense to me now.
That sounds good. That sounds good.
Yeah. So anyway, I just need
what was the name of that guy?
That's interesting.
That you.
I should give you that website. Obviously, here's the code though. Let me give you the website. I'm really like my mom found me on YouTube and she's watching me teach about sockets.
See, I know. The only thing I hate about Hang On Air, it shares it with all of my friends afterwards. It's like,
oh, does it really?
Yeah. Well, I didn't invite you guys on it, so Your guys' friends won't know, but
Yeah, we
Google Plus is pretty much a ghost town social media. I feel like anyway.
So yeah, they're gonna be like,
At least my friends on there.
all your friends are gonna like.
It's
get
generally just my wife.
notification.
My wife will watch them sometimes. Like,
Watch
oh,
Richie's
we had a
latest-
meeting.
Watch Richard's latest video.
Let me find I'll find that website again, and then I'll send it to you guys. I can't find it right now. This one was on the Oracle website, so I stayed away from it. Yeah, so I'll send it to you guys.
So which of these libraries are just socket? Is it just the only one that's socket? And these
Yeah, I think so. I think that's all.
that's
that print
exception, and these are print the right.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
All right, Richie. Well, say hi to your friends.